So we keep hearing from Department of Justice officials that they will, say it with me, follow the facts and follow the law wherever they lead. But what happens when we already have the facts and we already have the law, but what we can't seem to get is any accountability? Let's talk about that, because justice matters. Hey all, Glenn Kirshner here. So we now know that the House Select Committee has subpoenaed 14 of the fake and fraudulent electors to testify. Here's the reporting from U.S. News and World Report. January 6 committee subpoenas fake Trump electors in 7 states. The House committee investigating the U.S. Capitol insurrection subpoenaed more than a dozen individuals Friday who it says falsely tried to declare Donald Trump the winner of the 2020 election in 7 swing states. And we also know that at least 2 state attorneys general from New Mexico and Michigan have referred the fraudulent electors' crimes to the Department of Justice for investigation. Here is some of the reporting on that front. Michigan Attorney General asks feds to investigate fake GOP electors. Michigan's Attorney General is asking federal prosecutors to open a criminal investigation into 16 Republicans who submitted false certificates stating they were the state's presidential electors, despite Joe Biden's 154,000 vote victory in 2020. Dana Nessel, a Democrat, disclosed Thursday that her office has been evaluating charges for nearly a year, but decided to refer the matter to the U.S. Attorney in Western Michigan. And here's what Attorney General Nessel said, quote, "Under state law, I think clearly you have forgery of a public record, which is a 14-year offense, and election law forgery, which is a 5-year offense. But the Justice Department," she said, "is best suited to probe and potentially prosecute." Now, of course, we also know, because Deputy Attorney General Lisa Monaco told us, that the Department of Justice, quote, "received those referrals and," say it with me, "will follow the facts and will follow the law wherever they lead." Now, as a former career prosecutor, I want to say a couple of things about the DOJ mantra, "we'll follow the facts and we'll follow the law wherever they lead." First of all, that is a basic principle of criminal investigation and criminal prosecution. I know because I lived it for 30 years. But a prosecutor saying that I'll follow the facts and I'll follow the law wherever they lead, really doesn't tell us anything. It's like a prosecutor saying, today I will breathe in, then I'll breathe out, then I'll repeat. You know, we know that that's what prosecutors will be doing. It's your job. But what happens when prosecutors have the facts and have the law, but what we can't seem to get are criminal charges, are indictments? What we can't seem to get is any accountability for the command structure of the insurrection. So stay with me for a minute, friends, while I vent my frustration. There has been some accountability, right? The foot soldiers of Donald Trump's insurrection are being held accountable. Those who were fooled by Donald Trump's lies and based on those lies attacked the Capitol on January 6th. But there has been zero accountability for the command structure. No accountability for Rudy Giuliani and Sidney Powell. No accountability for Steve Bannon and Stephen Miller. No accountability for Jeffrey Clark and John Eastman. No accountability for Mo Brooks, Don Jr., or for the countless members of Congress who supported the insurrection and gave aid and comfort to the insurrectionists. And the problem with a lack of accountability, or let's call it delayed accountability, because I still believe DOJ will get after these criminals. Delayed accountability, the problem with that is Donald Trump and his Republican supporters and his criminal associates are out there continuing to push the big lie and recruit a new batch of insurrection foot soldiers. Now, friends, we talk a lot about the Watergate scandal and we try to draw comparisons, and I take some comfort in both the time frame and the sequence of Watergate because it was crime, congressional hearings, testimony, reports, and then prosecutions. And the whole thing took 2.5 years. But you know, when you look back to Watergate, back to the 70s, those were different times and those were different crimes. But I don't want to just vent and complain. I want to offer one concrete step that can and should be done to move things along. The states should start bringing criminal prosecutions. Michigan State Attorney General Dana Nessel told us that based on these fraudulent electors, there was a 14-year offense that applies. There is a 5-year criminal offense that applies. Now, I agree with her. The best thing to do, the smartest thing to do, was to refer it to the feds for an overarching, comprehensive criminal prosecution. But the feds are still busy following the facts and following the law wherever it leads. And I get that, and it's going to take time. But there's nothing to say that the state law enforcement authorities can't begin moving out and prosecuting the crimes that were committed in their state. The good news is, you might have heard of the double jeopardy clause in the Constitution, right? You can't be tried twice for the same crime if that first trial ends in a conviction or an acquittal. But guess what? It doesn't apply when different jurisdictions, different sovereigns prosecute somebody for the same crime. So a person can commit one crime and can properly be tried for that crime in both state court and in federal court without any double jeopardy concerns. So while the feds are following the facts and following the law wherever it leads, while the feds are double dotting their I's and triple crossing their T's, the states should begin to prosecute these fraudulent electors and anybody else, certainly any other politicians or anybody who committed crimes in connection with the attempted overthrow of our democracy, who committed crimes in their states. Because while we wait for the feds to act, you know, we're burning democracy daylight. And justice matters. Friends, as always, please stay safe, please stay tuned. And I look forward to talking with you all again tomorrow.